Welcome to the neighborhood. What's up, y'all? Sneaks and Stats episode 19 coming at ya.
19, baby.
I am J-Dub.
J-Dub,
They call
Boogie
me
Dub,
J-Dub.
J-Man.
That's what they call me, yeah.
It's all of them put together.
I couldn't come up with something like that, possibly.
Yes, last week you said J-Man Boogie. So I was like, oh
crazy.
my God.
It keeps getting crazier.
Yes.
But yes, I am the statistical father.
Yes, and I
Over
am
here, to my left.
Sneaker Peteronovich.
Sneaker Peteronovich. He plays
Peteronovich.
tennis.
Yes, he played. He won Wimbledon.
He won, yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm EJ, and welcome to episode 19. First and foremost, follow us and subscribe on our YouTube, like and comment on our videos. Follow us on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, or X, I should say. We've been saying Twitter. It's called X now.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
either way, we don't really use it that much.
We don't really use that. And TikTok. So please follow us on there. And also thank you for the continued support. Also, we'd like to add Jason Mark into our what do we call these?
Shout-outs?
Shout-outs. Because we're gonna start using that product to like clean our shoes and probably get that on our
Definitely.
social medias or something. So shout out Jason Mark. But can't believe we're on 19, bro.
Yeah, closing in on 2-0. Pretty crazy.
Really
Trying to
crazy.
think, who's a 19?
That's what I wanted to look up and I couldn't. I didn't do it.
I think unfortunately Raja Bell.
Oh, he is 19.
Yeah,
Was that Utah Jazz?
I think it was almost everywhere. I think in Phoenix
That
he
was
was
his number?
19. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw they post. This is a few days after Kobe Day and Kobe's birthday and everything, and there was a lot of clips of Kobe, and I saw the shot. You know when we won that game over Phoenix in the playoffs in 06, and he gets it over Raja Bell, and whenever I see him, or the tip off, he's elbow to elbow with Raja Bell.
The one
overtime tip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hate this man.
I can't stand that
I
guy.
just hate this guy.
Right? Like, man.
So
But he is
hopefully
19.
we can come up with a better 19.
That's a good one. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a good one.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And
What are we doing today? Yeah.
Today's theme is back to school. Since
Back to school.
Everyone's back, basically.
Everyone's
college,
back.
high school.
Mid-August, approaching fall. We got a month till fall, and
Yeah.
it's going back to school time. So we thought we'd do a
Talk
few
about some
university
shoes.
classics.
Yes, I always felt too. This was a cool part of the year when I was going to school because I'm putting on my best outfit.
Trying to stun on everybody,
Trying
huh?
to stunt. I got the new shirt, shorts. Back then, I didn't really have too many kicks, but at like around middle school, my parents were starting to like get me not just birthday. He does need a new pair for the school year, so like I started getting some cool kicks like around
That's pretty
6th, 7th
sick.
grade.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sick. I definitely never cared how I showed up. I was just roll out of bed.
Yeah.
Whatever was on the floor. Here we
Throw it out,
go.
Throw it out. Yeah, totally
Why
fine
does
as well.
Julian smell so much?
Yeah, but you can imagine like if we were like if you were a sneakerhead back in the day, man,
Be a
like,
problem. That's the thing
huge
is that like I've always liked so like kind of crazier sneakers. Like I remember I had some like Etnies or something, and I was like, oh, I'll get the bright green laces to throw on my all black Etnies. And
Like
it was
the skater shoes,
funny,
right?
yeah, funny stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then once I was like looking for shoes, I'm like, they're too. I was like, these are too expensive. Like I'm just gonna get something.
Yeah.
Get Converse.
And it wasn't really like your thing, right?
Not
like,
then,
you were
no.
into basketball, but
yeah.
it
I wasn't super into shoes.
wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to look like the best of the best.
The first time I was like, oh, I might need those is when my friend showed up with some Kyries, like
Oh, really?
2015 or something. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, those.
That's actually really nice.
Are crazy.
Can you remember your first like basketball shoe that you had? Or
Yeah,
that your parents got you?
The one that I remember the most is I had a Hyper Dunk.
You did.
I
What color?
I think so. I don't remember actually now. I had them I probably played in them with you that one time in them. I had them forever. They were beat to hell. It was gray with an orange. It had a strap on it, so maybe it wasn't a Hyper Dunk.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was to
Okay.
be honest, but
Yeah, but you wore them to death.
I wore them to death.
Indoor and outdoor?
Yes, I wore them everywhere. It was my only pair of basketball shoes.
That's
so
how you know you're a real baller, bro.
I was-
The shoes just are torn up, right?
they were destroyed.
Like thread coming off. And
it was,
the end of the lace is
seams
beat
were
up.
coming
Seams
together.
are-
It was terrible. And before that, I don't remember what I had, but I remember I put tape on the bottom of the shoes because I'm like, I can still play in these.
Yeah. They're fixed again.
Yeah.
You know, like with the tape. But yeah, dude, like this was a huge time, I think, like in school, especially so like if you're playing in sports in high school, like for high school, for me, like it was tough for me to ask back in the day for shoes. But my senior year, I asked my dad, like, hey, I'm on the varsity team, I need some shoes. And he got me some Jordan 9s, bro.
Cool.
Like he was kind of mad, right? Because he's like I gotta buy him shoes, but like, damn, it's expensive. You know what I mean? So he got me some Jordan 9s. That was probably the first J I ever got from my dad. But it was such a huge thing because the season was coming up. New year.
That's awesome, dude.
I didn't even wear it.
You're too scared to wear it? You're like,
they
nope.
were too nice.
Nope.
So I just wore my, I had like some Jermaine O'Neal's that I loved. Some Nikes.
I did not know Jermaine O'Neal had his own
Dude,
line.
he has a sick pair of shoes. And yeah, dude, I didn't even get to wear it. But what the sad part is, when I hit hard times, I did sell the 9s. Which made me very sad.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Rough.
It happens.
Yeah. Come and go. You got
Maybe
some
one
crazy
day.
stuff now.
But yeah, that's true. But going on back to what we're doing today, we wanted to start off with one of the shoes that started like basically the university.
Yeah.
The
Help
basketball
push
team shoe
culture.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes, the team shoe in college basketball. So the Be True to Your Schools. This is like a 2019, 2020 release.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly like the Iowa colorway, but they're calling it like the goldenrod.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, they've changed the names.
So many names.
Yeah, it's all just university, like
Yeah.
red, university gold, and stuff like that now. So.
Yeah. So I rocked those. I rocked these for today's episode. But the Be True to Your Schools was a series that Nike made for the colleges.
Yeah.
BTTYS.
It's an initiative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to help get Nikes integrated into like just basketball culture.
Into basketball, yeah,
outside
exactly.
of like Jordans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
1985, 86-ish is when they came out. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what kind of maybe the most famous pair of that era.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a St. John's. And we'll get into, we have a video planned to get into some history behind dunks in general and where they've gone. So we'll dig in a little deeper there.
On the way.
Yeah, but they did St. John's, Michigan,
Kentucky,
Syracuse, Kentucky, Iowa, like you mentioned.
and UNLV.
Yes.
And Iowa, yes.
So this is kind of like a St. John's pair we got. This is obviously a newer release here, but
And it's basically the inspiration came from the Jordan 1. Huge.
which you can tell.
I mean,
right off the
just
bat.
look at this right here.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And obviously the swoosh. But yeah, it's the inspiration came from the Jordan 1. The schools we named, basically, along with, I think we didn't say Georgetown yet, but along with the Georgetown, those are the only schools that got their shoes.
Yeah.
And other dunks didn't really come out until or other dunks came out, but other real like good quality dunks, like a first retro release was until like 1998.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But going back into 1985 when they came out, St. John's wore it. A good NBA player. Very, what would I say? Kind of a unorthodox way to play.
And you know, one way I would describe it is like your mom might say, "There goes that man."
There goes that man. Yeah, that's
there
right.
goes that man.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Damn,
an original. These are an original pair. They're beat to hell, but I think they're from St. John's. Like a player.
Like a player had them.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell that they were beat. But look how good the quality of leather is.
They're
how
still
intact,
holding up. Yeah.
Right? Like the creases is supposed to be there
The creases are there, and the only real like tearing is just
on the top.
at the very top. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that player is Mark Jackson.
Look at those shorts, man. Damn.
Some crazy shorts,
Some
that's for
boxer
sure, dude.
briefs.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. This is kind of a battle of the dunks too.
Yeah. What's interesting too is you can see in the Syracuse pair, he's wearing lows.
He's wearing lows, which is crazy to think
from-
about trying to ball in a pair of
in '85 too.
of low dunks right now.
And what I like too is that the schools, all the schools involved played along, so they gave they had matching jerseys made to cater the shoe.
Yeah.
So which is cool with that. So these are all special jerseys that weren't like the typical ones that they had for the season.
This is Pearl Washington though, who played a few seasons in the NBA.
Oh, Washington.
Yeah, cool name.
Crazy name. Uh-huh.
But yeah, Battle of the Dunks. We got a picture that you sent me coming up where it's like just all dunks everywhere. It's like crazy to see on the court.
It's insane, yeah.
But yeah, so this was like I said, this was the 85-86 season, and this game in particular was February 1st, 1986. Mm-hmm. Kind of weird. We were talking about it a little before we were rolling here.
Yeah.
Going back that far, there's not a lot of concrete data on like college basketball's box scores and everything. So there is no box score for this game as far as like what players got. I do have the total. St. John's lost by 4, 64-68. Mm-hmm. And this was Mark Jackson's junior season.
Okay.
He would go on to play one more year.
Right.
And kind of just weird that I think that's something. I've always had a tough time of getting into college basketball because of just how big it is, and I think this problem is kind of related to that, where like there was just so many college basketball games happening that there wasn't a lot of official scorekeeping, at least that was preserved. I'm sure St. John's had a scorekeeper and everything.
Yeah. That's what we were saying. Like that technology wasn't up to date.
Yeah, I mean now it's digital and it's kept forever somewhere. Like it's going to be picked up by media outlets, so it's online. Yep. The schools are going to have a database. Mm-hmm. Where I'm maybe if you dug through, like in St. John's library, or if they have any kind of archival system in the basketball department, because St. John's and Syracuse both have always been basketball powerhouses. Big
basketball or just athletic schools.
Yeah. So maybe they have something somewhere, but not well organized.
Which is crazy because even when I was that I remember in high school when I was playing basketball was we would keep score too, and it was still paper. I mean, I wonder now if they use iPad. Do you think, or what do you think?
Oh, probably, yeah.
You think they would go that? They went that right now, and
I would think it would be.
Because you'd have to keep it in a box, like I said, a box and storage, and like
it's just a little easier to just be like, here's the. Yeah. Type it out, and then you can just send it to, if you have your local paper there, if you have a school paper.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Just send it to them immediately. I didn't
think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, like, the press will have to be there and ask for it. The school's just not going to send it out. Yeah. They might want the good press.
Right.
But it's so much easier now to just keep track of it, too, because you can just save it right away to, like, wherever you want it.
Exactly. I like that what you said. Like you can basically just do it all in one shot.
You can finish it. You can do it live. And you have, if it's a big school like maybe like Modern Day or something, they're gonna have people.
They're gonna have
a few people that are keeping track and like watching certain players and everything.
Yeah. It's such a crazy concept to think about. Like we don't really think about that part of the game, you know what I mean? Like,
dude,
stat keeping?
I would love to be a stat keeper for the Lakers. I would just watch. Like, I remember back in the day, 10 years ago.
Sorry, old man.
Yeah, back in my day.
He's not even 30, guys.
But like, I remember when Bynum was getting like good, like 2011, 2012. They were talking, and that was right, kind of as like, advanced stats, like that's what you should be looking at, like shoot your corner threes, all that stuff. They were talking about shots altered, not shots blocked.
So this is like
shots altered.
So are you talking about like advanced analytics? Yeah, where it's like now it's like super in depth.
Because that's something that like the general, like I think probably the NBA has official scorekeepers at each game, and the teams obviously have their own scorekeepers at each game.
Right.
I'm sure the teams, they're tracking crazy stuff that's not public. Not that it is like secret. It's just like most people won't care about shots altered or like turnovers caused, like if you cause someone to get an 8-second violation or something like that. Like, that's just stuff that doesn't show up, like the intangibles,
Right.
But I remember they were talking about Bynum is a league leader in shots altered. I'm like, yo, that'd be sick to just like.
So not even a block. It's just like
that's your
made a guy think about shooting it or he had to pass it.
But like if I was thinking about that, like you would probably, if you had to set that up, you'd probably have one or two guys that just track your traditional stats, like shots attempt. Shots made, points, field or assists, rebounds, like just traditional stuff, and then you would have another team of dudes that are like, oh, he altered that shot,
and that's what I was gonna say.
He contested that shot. Like, there's some crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, because it's just one guy, and then it's up to him to say that was an altered shot, right?
It gets a little opinionated.
Yeah. See. Yeah. So I'm saying like that guy better be
that's why you have to
like knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's why if it was me, I'd have a team like, okay. Do you have this at this minute, at this minute mark? Like, did he do this? That's the hard thing, too, is now they have even the NBA, they didn't start doing this till the early 2000s. They have game summaries where it's like play by play.
Yeah.
So you can go see, okay, the tip was at 12 minutes.
Wow.
And then at 11:48, James
Oh,
Harden
like
took
if you
his
were to
first.
look like a ESPN.
Yeah,
app or something,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And that stuff's being updated live. Like that, there's.
Yeah, I can't even imagine now. That
It would be super cool, but it'd be hard. You have to be really. You couldn't enjoy the game. I don't
no, for
think.
sure.
You'd have
No,
to be
oh no,
really focused.
No, because 1 second you can miss a stat. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be like a rap and just enjoy the game.
No,
you know what I mean?
You have to be on it.
That's cool. That's a cool topic too.
But anyways, don't have a lot of stats for this game going.
But I mean, that's cool that we talked about that.
Here's the one you sent me. Every single dunk ever is just. It's
So,
pretty nuts.
I think every player on the team got it.
I mean, they must have. Yeah, it was Nike school, right?
Yeah.
Cool photo though of Mark Jackson taking a charge, I guess, or trying to.
I also love the old school look of this arena with like the old.
Yeah, it reminds me
curtains
of like the old the Alamo Dome for the Spurs.
I was just gonna say that. It
Yeah.
looks like the Alamo Dome, or even like a old school like Great Western Forum. Look,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because they had the curtains up around.
Yes,
but
in
I
the
feel
back.
like whenever I would see clips from the Alamo Dome, like they take like a, it's like cut in half or something. Like it's so square.
Yeah.
Where most arenas are round. Like same with this. It's like the curtain makes it look very like rectangular.
Also, like, Dan, if you're all the way at the top at the Alamo Dome, you're gonna need some binoculars, bro. Like when they had
For sure. That's why I think they would cut it down. 'Cause
They
it
have
didn't-
to, or-
It didn't, at least for part of it.
like don't sell tickets all the way to the
Yeah,
top.
because look, this is not going back that far. And
That's true.
why I feel
Because
like
there's probably
parts-
something back here too.
Yeah,
You're saying, right?
Yeah. But I'm not really sure where Syracuse played
how
in
they
the
did it.
80s.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, St. John's, they played at Madison Square Garden forever. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where they still play.
Not fair. I mean, that's such
That's so cool.
how lucky of a
And
school.
that's
for
like
that.
kind of crazy home court because like I would be nervous going in to
The Mecca.
play at
Yeah.
MSG.
Like USC, like their basketball team. I mean, their football team plays at the Coliseum, and Coliseum has
Oh.
held the Olympics and stuff like that. So that's all these historic landmarks for these college players to play at. It's pretty cool
Pretty
to
scary.
think about.
Yeah, cool photo here.
Is that Pearl Washington again?
I think it is. Yeah,
Oh,
30,
yeah.
31. They must have been duking it out, man. They're like,
Cooking each other.
My number's better than yours. Yeah, pretty interesting game.
Shout out Pearl Washington and Mark Jackson too, man.
I do. So even though I don't have any stats for the game, I do have a few Mark Jackson.
Action Jackson.
Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson brings the ball down the lane. Indeed.
Oh, he played for Indy.
He did. He played.
Okay, anyways.
This season, his junior year, he averaged 11.3 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 9.1 assists.
I'm so happy you brought that up because I did want to know how well he did because for you, obviously you guys know basketball. Mark Jackson was an amazing player. So, 11 and 9 he averaged. And how many boards?
3, so not bad.
Respectable.
3 point. Where did it go? 3.5, and then 1.9 steals and 2.3 turnovers.
That guy's amazing. There's not much opportunity to kind of shine as an individual unless you have the talent in college. You know what I'm saying?
Much more team focused game.
Right? Like it's a little more evened out. Unless you're like Michael Beasley or something, where he was just
And he's still number 6 on the NBA's all-time assist list.
Yes,
He
crazy.
10,334.
Yeah.
One less than Steve Nash. Steve Nash just edged him out for top 5.
One?
One.
Oh,
Steve
that
Nash
would piss me
earned
off.
One more. Yeah, suit up and get
Throw me
two
in.
more.
Yeah.
And just while we're on that note, LeBron will, depending on how much longer Chris Paul plays, he might enter that top 3 because he's knocking on that door.
Yeah, I think LeBron's. I think that was one of the records he could break. Not break, but like.
I mean,
beat our
I
top
don't
somebody.
know. Maybe even more than the all-time scoring record. John Stockton's 15,000 assists are
Good luck.
because he played 20 years, and Jason Kidd, who also played almost 20 years, like very close, is 3,000 shy. Like an assist.
And
That's
Jason
like,
Kidd's no scrub.
dude, Jason Kidd was an MVP candidate. Like he's on the triple-double top 10 list. So
How many times did he average over 10 assists a
man,
game?
it's crazy. Like John Stockton was just that good, man. That's one where if it ever gets broken, I don't know when it'll get broken. That's kind of the thing.
Because, I mean, a lot of that. I mean, he did have Karl Malone, who was also a huge bucket, right?
Yeah.
So I mean that helps a
That
lot
helps,
too.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean he had a good team.
Perfect team
Good shooters,
pairing.
Hornacek and all these.
Couldn't really find anyone that has worn the dunks in a competitive game of basketball.
Yeah,
since this era.
I was telling Julie, I found a lot of pictures of the players wearing them, tunnel fits to the game. It's not exactly a basketball shoe in terms, like if you're, there's,
You
guys,
sneakerheads will know, like, you know what a dunk is now. Like, despite its name, no one is balling in dunks.
I played yesterday, and oddly enough, I saw a guy playing in the Syracuse lows.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And
Seems weird.
It is weird just because I feel like a dunk is a little stiff for a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the material.
Especially
it's just,
nowadays.
Yeah, straight suede and leather.
Like we've talked
not too
about,
much technology.
Yeah, we've talked about the Tatum a lot, and that's like super lightweight. The whole thing is the actual shell of it is very malleable and bendable. So
Yes, that's what I mean. The technology is just out of date.
Super, yeah, not suitable.
Yeah.
I did find our man PJ because he's a dunk guy when he's coming in and off the court. This is when he was with the Bucks. So
Those
cool
are
pair.
Those are the undefeated.
Yep.
Pair. There was 2 colorways that came out when those dropped. Those you can get right now still for pretty cheap. I would say I think they're like 110 on StockX. So
that's not too bad. Pretty cool colorway. And then I added this one in because I just happened to find it, and I know you got a soft spot for the Heineken dunk.
Honey, you.
What a crazy photo.
I know. There's at least I would say like $15,000 to $20,000 worth of shoes in there.
He's threw the Cactus Jack in there.
Yeah. So these are the OVO, the Drake Snakeskin 11s. This is the undefeated Jordan 4, but there's only 75 made.
Holy cow!
There's only 1,000 of these made, I think. This is the What the Dunk. This is the LeBronald Palmer. This is the Legend of the
Palmer.
That's what it's called. Yeah,
that's awesome.
There's 2 colors of that to match like the drink.
Yeah.
And then obviously that you guys know the Heinekens, and that's the Legend of the Summer. I mean, that all of these are not over $1,000.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Shout out PJ, man. One day we're gonna at least talk to this guy
to just talk his ear off about all these.
But yeah, lots of dunks in that picture, man.
But yeah, dunk is an interesting shoe. Like we said, we'll get into some good detail hopefully coming to YouTube soon.
Yeah.
And
the Be True to Your Schools did come when Nike came out with their SB line, which kind of changed the whole sneaker landscape. 2002 they re-released all the Be True to Your Schools, and
that's cool.
We will get to that.
Yes.
Eventually.
We'll let you guys know when
and
that's
they're
coming.
all super sick. I wish I had all of them.
But cool. let us know if you guys are gonna be wearing any dunks to school.
Again, if you guys have any of these Be True to Your Schools, please message us your pair with you rocking them or not. Like we want to see these.
Where they rank in your lineup.
You don't really see them out in public too much. So.
No, yeah. And then the next shoe is also a very cool collegiate shoe.
I think a staple in the basketball world for sure.
The Terminator.
One of the cool names.
It's a cool name, and to me, it's such a cool shoe, dude. They're so
gorgeous.
They're so bold. Like
yes.
They have, I think, less like line work going on than like maybe the Jordan line. Yeah.
Especially towards the back.
Yeah, and the Nike on the back in those big bold letters. I just think it's cool. It definitely looks a little older, but I think it's such a cool take on it.
Yeah. We're also noticing too, like a lot of the models that we like are designed by kind of the same people that we like. So Tinker barely misses. Last week we spoke about Eric Avar, who did a lot of the like Kobe's line and stuff like that. Love all his stuff. And the guy who made this, guy we've talked about plenty of times, and in the Air movie, Peter Moore.
Peter Moore, yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Pretty crazy to have all this stuff in your head.
Such a creative mind that he had. You know what I mean?
It's interesting too because the I Stay. It's just a little bit different between like the Jordan 1, the Dunk, and these. Because they all came out within 2 years or so of each other.
All three have, all three are an influence, obviously, because of the Jordan 1. And you can see the influence here again, just like the Dunk.
Yeah.
Which makes it beautiful because it's hard to mess it up.
Yeah, it's hard to mess up. This one, I think if I had to choose, I would take these over a pair of Dunks.
Okay.
I really.
Is that one of your
That's my
takes?
hot takes, yeah.
That's not a hot take at all, dude.
Well, I don't know. You know more. I don't see a lot of Terminators out in the wild.
You don't.
I don't know about. What do you think their place is as like a sneakerhead?
Their place, I would say.
Just like today, like obviously the Dunk has transitioned, like we talked about, into like a everyday wear. Yeah. Like I was at Universal Studios Hollywood yesterday.
Yeah.
So many Dunks.
Yeah.
I saw so many pandas. Like.
Oh God, the panda.
I saw a lot of pandas.
Yeah.
But a lot of just any Dunk. Like.
Yeah.
So many people were wearing Dunks.
For sure.
But I did not see any Terminators.
No Terminators. Where are they in the sneaker world? I would say they are definitely, loved by the sneaker community. Not exactly a pair that has colorways where people are like, oh, we need these. But again, I think it's a shoe that you can definitely break necks with because a lot of sneakerheads don't wear it. It's definitely more of an older sneakerhead type of shoe just because of it was from back then too. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I love the shoe. Again, I'm a low guy, so they have a low of this.
The lows are pretty nice. I like the highs better.
Highs are sick.
You got me on the lows. We were talking about that off camera last week, but
yeah.
But if I didn't get these, I might have considered trying to get some of these.
Yes, and on the 24th, the lows of this Georgetown colorway came out.
Yeah, so there's still a few. They actually released a lot of the OG colorways in this because I saw. So these came out a year before roughly the Dunks, like kind of the same time frame, but
yeah. So like 80. It came out 85.
Yeah.
But they didn't wear it till the 86 season.
Well, the Hoyas did. They got it. Yeah, they had their own. Thanks. We'll talk about John Thompson in a little bit here. But thanks to him, they had them a little early, and I think it was a little less schools. It was, I think from what I saw, I think I have it here. It was Georgetown, St. John's, and Michigan were the only school that got these in 1985, and they released kind of those colorways. Not really the Syracuse, but they did a red and white, which is. Or not Syracuse. So they did. Sorry, not Syracuse. St. John. It was St. John's, Michigan, and Georgetown. So they did release all those colors this past summer.
Yes, there was a for if you guys that know the brand Comme des Garçons, they did come out with 3 colors of this shoe. 2022. It was like a blue, or like a Kentucky colorway, St. John's, and then I believe it was like a black and white colorway. So there's 3, and then instead of the big Nike in the back, it said CDG.
Oh, okay.
Brand, which is pretty cool. And the one specific detail on this shoe that kind of stuck out to everybody was the big lettering in the back.
Yeah.
So they called it Big Nike. That's what they called it. They called it back in the day.
You can kind of.
Damn, they look dope on foot.
They look dope on foot. I don't know. I think those are the high, but Patrick Ewing's so big it almost looks like a mid.
And then the shorts are so high.
Dude, crazy double socks too. And what is this like? How did he must have flipped them inside out at the top?
Inside out. See, remember the
we were
sock
talking about on Jordan.
So one of the players that he plays for the PBA now. His name is Alex Cabinot. He used to be my neighbor, and he played for Eagle Rock.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he plays. He has like 8 championships now. He's like a legend in the Philippines. But he told me that the double sock thing was so that you don't get calluses on your toes.
That makes sense because I get calluses every time I play.
Yeah, and it makes sense because it's like the compression on your foot, right? So it's not as like rubby.
Well, because you think about too, like when you play, like if you're running and stuff, if you're like a long distance runner, they tell you want to go
like that.
You want to go heel toe, but if you're playing basketball, you want all the friction and traction you can get, so you're all toe. Like I always get right on the bottom of the big part of my foot here.
Oh yeah, this part of the shoe is jacked up.
Yeah.
Always. This guy, Michael Thompson.
Not Michael Thompson.
Not Michael Thompson, sorry.
John Thompson.
John Thompson.
Michael Thompson, Lakers legend. Shout out.
Yes. John Thompson, like we said a couple episodes ago, was with Nike, and when the Be True to Your Schools came out, Georgetown was part of that, but John Thompson said that my team we want our own shoe, and what Nike did was Nike gave them and the other two schools the Terminator, but what's special about this one was that they made theirs not only in their color just like the other ones, but they put Hoyas in the back,
Which I think you can make out that it's
Yes.
definitely not
Yes.
Nike. Yas. It's definitely not Nike. You can tell that.
But you can,
But it's super cool. And
such a cool touch.
gives you an idea of what the big Nike looks like. I'll put up a picture of the big Nike in the episode. But it's a great touch to the shoe. I think it definitely makes it stand out.
Yeah.
And I like too. I think something that I like that's a little different from like the Dunk and the Jordan 1 is the back of the collar. I like that kind of big black.
I do too.
Square.
I love that because
That color block right there.
Yeah, no, you right, because if you need that, because if this is gray, that's way too much gray. To me,
The back end
aesthetically,
would be too much. Yeah.
way too much gray. And like in terms of the silhouette of the shoe, you need that block of blue in there. Also, the blue and gray colorway would be probably so I'm a sucker for that.
It's so nice, and it's nice that it's doing the same thing, right? You have like contrast between you have the black here
Light and dark.
the white, but it's not white. It's so nice that it's like refreshing.
It's
really.
refreshing that it's a different, that it's gray.
Same with the other one that I'm like, oh, I don't have any allegiances in college.
Yeah.
But the Michigan colorway, ooh, that is pretty nice.
Yeah, me and you, I think are the same in terms of like school colors.
Yeah.
So like the Georgetown, we love it. UNC, we love all the UNC stuff. I'm a sucker for Michigan stuff, bro. Like that blue and yellow or the navy and yellow.
Yeah.
Is so sick.
One thing that one school I wish they did a little more like branding like this, but they never would. UCLA's colorway is that light blue with the yellow. I kind of like it a lot.
I like it too, just because I'm a Charger fan.
Yeah,
so,
there's that.
So their colors are kind of
close enough.
The only thing is the gold that's different.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the pretty good look. The Hoyas, yeah.
Yes, and they won the title in '84.
Yeah, so the year prior, and I don't know at that time if John Thompson was on the Nike board yet, because I saw some pictures. I'm not sure if they were from '84, because that was Patrick Ewing's sophomore season, and he had 2 seasons under his belt at that point.
Yeah,
he was wearing Adidas.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
Even, interestingly enough, I didn't know this. Once he got into the NBA, he was an Adidas guy, because I saw a picture of him going up against Kareem, and they both were rocking Adidas. So it's kind of interesting.
and Patrick Ewing's signature shoe, have you seen it?
No.
Holy moly! It like goes.
Is it Adidas?
You know how we have that joke where like there's a high top and then there's like up to your like knees and stuff like that.
Yeah,
dude, it's like up to here, bro. It's so high.
He needs some high shoes, man. He's a tall dude.
And I think his whole last name is on it. It says Ewing all the way across.
It's his first middle name, last name. It's his whole name, birth date, driver's license number.
It's an ID, basically. But
are you old enough to drink? Here you go.
But yeah, man. I mean, such a sucky thing. Like we were saying, imagine winning a championship. You got your shoe. You're on fire,
and then so this season, which was I believe his junior season.
Yeah.
They ended up losing. This is the NCAA championship game, so they made it all the way, and they ended up losing to Villanova, who. I don't know. I didn't mention that too. Mark Jackson, his last 2 teams with St. John's, they got bumped in the second round of the tournament.
Oh,
They were in that season that we showed, his junior season. They were a number 1 seed going into the tournament, got bumped by the 8th seed Auburn, and they were the only 1 seed that didn't make it to the Elite 8 that year.
That's
pretty nuts.
It's kind of like the nature of the tournament, man.
Yeah, that's why that's why I love.
It don't matter, man.
March Madness, man.
That's why everyone loves college basketball, because of the tournament. Yeah, and I think
tournament is fun. Tournament time is fun because you never know. It's just always tough for me because I'm like, I don't know what happened.
And tell me if this is for you too. So in terms of college sports, like I don't have an allegiance to anything. You don't really have an allegiance to anything. I always felt like I'm a guy like I need to go to the school to rep it. I don't hate on people who don't go there to schools and rep their school. That's exactly like I don't play for the Lakers, so why root for Lakers?
You don't?
Kind of the same thing.
Weird.
But that's always kind of been my thing. Like if I were to choose a team, one of the LA schools, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of a weird thing to me.
My wife went to UCLA, so that's where my allegiance lies. Although she also just got her master's from USC, so the house is divided amongst one person. Yeah.
What would you choose?
We pull for UCLA. She always felt like her uncle went to UCLA, so she always felt like she never liked SC. and then even after she went there, she's like, I
Yeah.
don't really like SC.
Yeah.
So we're a UCLA family, I guess, but we're not going crazy. Like
No,
we're not
for
watching
sure.
every game, football or basketball.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. And then my other big thing with just getting into college sports is that like at least with the Lakers, like I know next season we're gonna have LeBron and AD.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know what I'm getting. Where like I feel like in college basketball, it's like it's kind of a crapshoot. It's like someone could declare for the draft, someone
Switch team.
You might have a bad incoming class of freshmen. Like, yeah, I don't, and
a lot to keep up with.
it's just a completely different play style. Like, it's kind of older. It's an older play style where, and it makes sense because you really have to have a good coach. I think.
Oh, for sure.
Having a good coach is almost more important than having good players.
To reach the kids too.
To reach the kids, and they have to listen to you, and
have a good system.
It's a system, yeah. So it's a lot of pick and roll, a lot of zone defense. Just way different than the NBA. I don't think necessarily worse, but there's also part of me where I'm like, I just like watching the best of the best.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many things to college, you know, like some of these guys, this is it for them. They don't, some of these guys, they are trying to get to the league.
Yeah.
You know, so they're playing hard. Like you said, defense is different because it's like I feel like it's always on. Like,
and that's something.
That shows
which
the
is
real
good.
talent.
I like that.
Yeah, but it shows the real talent of like the offensive players. I feel like who's really gonna stand out.
And that's something that always confused me too. Is like, oh, okay, the NBA draft is coming up. I feel like in years more recently, players that reach the end of the tournament are actually going higher in the draft. For a while, it was like the best players were not on the best teams.
Yeah.
For a while, where I was like, why is this guy getting drafted? Like, he didn't even make it to the tournament, or like,
like for instance, what's a good NBA player that got bounced early in the tournament?
Curry
made it pretty far, right?
Curry made it decently far.
Damn. Now that I think about it, a lot of these teams.
But I don't think far. Like I feel like there was a while where like the Kentucky guys didn't really make it that far, or like Duke for a while
before the good teams.
Yeah, Ingram. I don't think did that team go? No, Ingram's team went pretty far.
I think they went.
I don't know if Tatum's team went that far.
Tatum's team, I think, well, because that year the UCLA guys got to the Final Four, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jordan Farmar? Oh no, I'm not. That's early. No, I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah.
No. That's no, I'm thinking about sorry, Lonzo and them. Lonzo and those boys.
Yeah.
They got pretty far. I just don't know if it was Final Four. Tatum, what team?
Yeah, like Tatum. Okay, that Duke team, 2017, they got bounced in the second round. Yeah, and Tatum was the number 3 pick, or the would-be number 1 if the Celtics didn't trade down.
And I don't think Tatum was the best player on that team.
No, that team had a lot of players. I think. I think we talked about this before. Yeah, Luke Kennard, Grayson Allen. Those are the big ones.
Well,
Tatum, Grayson Allen, and Luke Kennard.
Tatum was obviously the best now, but I think on that team, I don't even think he started. Did he start?
I think he started.
Did he? Okay.
But Grayson Allen was the guy.
That's the guy, yeah. That team's crazy. Damn.
Tatum started pretty much every game.
Okay.
And Luke Kennard, too. He started every game.
That guy's a beast.
I did misspeak, though. So this was actually Ewing's senior season.
Okay.
And they won the year before in his junior season. So he lost in the final game in the championship of the tournament, which is a bummer to go out like that. I do have stats for this game because this was a highly publicized game.
Yes.
Because Ewing was one of the biggest prospects to come out of college basketball since Mike, pretty much. Because obviously, a few years later,
there was a whole thing too about with the Knicks being excited about getting the first pick. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. So this was, like I said, Georgetown versus Villanova. Georgetown lost by 2, 64-66. This was April 1st, 1985.
Yeah.
Pat had a good game. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, 4 fouls on 7 of 13 shooting. So really, really good game. Villanova didn't have anyone crazy because Georgetown also had a name that I recognized. A pretty decent player, I think.
Who was it?
David Wingate, who played on the Hornets, I believe, for a while.
And Sonics. I remember him. I remember him.
Yeah, pretty decent player, long career. And he. Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry. I'm misspeaking a lot. They did win in Pat's. Oh, never mind. No, strike that. We're good. We're good. But yeah, so the other players on Villanova that ended up going to the league were Harold Presley.
Okay.
Who I do kind of recognize. I think he had like a 10-year career, I think, when I looked it up.
Harold Presley.
And then Dwayne McClain, who I think played a season.
Matching.
Maybe.
I mean,
yeah, right? The rhyming name.
Rhyming name, sorry.
And then, so what happened at the end of the game was that they were going back and forth. Villanova ended up pulling ahead by 4. And then they came back, and I think David Wingate hit a shot to get him within 2. And then, I don't know what happened. I guess there was only like 2 seconds left, and Nova got the ball and didn't get fouled, so they just ran out the clock.
Oh, they probably just ran it out to the side of the court, and nobody was able to foul him or something.
That's something I do like about college basketball. I like the bonus. I like the one and one. Yeah.
The free throw, right?
Yeah. I've never understood why the NBA doesn't do that, because they still call it the bonus. Like,
but then you get 2.
You get 2 no matter what.
Yeah.
Like before the bonus starts.
Right.
So I don't get it.
And
but
then
I like that in the college game, because it's kind of like, you got to be ready. Like you just don't know.
College is also a 35-second shot
Yeah,
clock.
give them a little more time. Shorter. It's halves instead of quarters, and they're a little bit shorter.
20 minutes, right?
Yeah. So
that was always kind of weird.
Very different game. Yeah, that stuff's kind of weird. And shorter 3, which nowadays I don't know if maybe the NCAA
all their shooting is 3s.
Try and
you need to back that up.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. I mean, you can see the Hoya again there, the other part of it on the back. But great looking shoe to me.
Yeah.
Like the St. John's pair that we opened with.
Yeah.
That was one where I was like, ooh. When we were first starting this, I'm like, I might try to get those.
Yeah,
I really like them, man.
I've really turned into liking the Terminator too. Also, so like, I need one in my collection. I feel like.
And the Georgetown lows.
Yeah,
that might be.
It just came out, and I think it's still available. I don't think they sold out, so I might.
I think they're out of my size. Actually, they might be sold out. I think I was looking it up today. I think they're sold out as of today.
Maybe.
So that would be a bummer.
So 2023, so far has 14 colorways of the Terminator.
Oh wow!
With
I didn't
5,
realize it was that much.
With 5 more still to come out this year.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
So that
keep an eye out for that.
With a mix of highs and lows.
Yeah.
The high did re-release again last year, November 17th, so kind of recent. Oddly enough, it came out like, in '85, but didn't really retro or re-release until 2014.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And so like you can just, that kind of is an indication of how the people weren't really asking for it.
No
you know
one
what I
was
mean?
Thinking about the Terminator.
Nobody was thinking about it. But in 2014, the Air Jordan KO, which is basically the Jordan 1 but in canvas material. I'm sure you've seen it somewhere. Jordan also wore all those. He wore all the KOs, but it's like the Jordan 1 that's kind of like not talked about.
Yeah.
So they in 2014
it's
there was
like the lifestyle.
Yes.
It's like you've been talking about.
The lifestyle of the Jordan 1. Yeah. They released a Georgetown colorway of the Air Jordan KO. In
cool.
honor of that Georgetown team, part of a rivalry pack. So they came out with other schools, and then there's a Nike SB that came out in 2014, also a rivalry pack that they copied from the KO, and same colorway. So
cool. It's a great colorway,
dude. You can put that on so many different shoes, man.
That midnight blue, man, is pretty crazy.
Matches the gray perfect.
Again. No stats of player. No one's wearing these now.
Yeah.
Which, again, I guess I can't really blame them. There's a lot better performance shoes out there, but I did find some cool photos.
Ooh,
cool. That's a cool colorway.
The green one.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I like too? That makes it a little bit different from like the Dunk and the Jordan 1. I like the bit of leather that goes up into the Iced from the toe box. It's a little set farther back.
Yeah.
And it kind of just. I think it helps it out a little bit.
And you see how LeBron put a fit on with the shoe, right? I think it the way the shoe looks and how it's made makes it look kind of like almost like a designer a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
Kinda.
Because it makes the
Especially
shoe,
this
it makes the
one.
fit look good, right?
Yeah.
It
With
almost-
that kind of, it looks like shiny almost. Like
Yes.
the green looks like satin almost. I
The,
mean,
the way
it's
that
not,
pair is
but
made
yeah.
makes it look a little more fancy for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, the look for sure, it looks kind of like a designer-ish.
And then you sent me this one. John Mayer from back in the day. Looking like a thug.
Baddie. Baddie.
They look good, yeah. I mean, they look good on foot.
But shout out John Mayer. He's a huge sneakerhead, like really big sneakerhead.
He seems like a pretty cool guy. I mean, I'm sure a lot of
Super
his
chill.
ex-girlfriends probably would disagree, but
Yeah.
seems like a cool guy.
All 50 of them.
Yes. And then moving on to our last pair here.
Beautiful shoe.
Beautiful shoe.
Woo, man. Look at that.
These, I think we mentioned it when we
Dude.
talked about it.
Last week.
I don't remember if it was this pair, if it was Giannis, but they got the same thing of like this, like almost straight up and down check.
Yeah.
On the
Wait,
inside
this?
body of it. Yeah.
No, it was the bacon.
Oh, the bacon.
The
Yeah,
bacon
that's what it was.
on the
yeah.
top here, it's like it's completely straight.
And Sabrina, these are Sabrina Ionescu shoes, the Nike Sabrina ones, and they are yet to be released at any pair, at least for retail. But these pairs, I don't think they'll ever release these. If they do, they're gonna go crazy.
So September 1, I believe the Oreo colorway is coming out. I just sent that to Julian.
That'd be cool if that came out. On the Nike website right now, I have them a little later, but it's called the Spark. And
yeah, there's a couple.
I think it's just the Ionescu, I think,
Yeah.
is the other one. Yeah, I have them somewhere, but just such a good looking silhouette. We've talked
It's
about
beautiful,
these a few times.
man. I mean,
Very Kobe inspired.
very Kobe inspired, coming from her because she loves Kobe. That's her
Yeah.
favorite player.
I think the tongue is a little bit wider than a lot of
I think so,
Kobe's,
yeah.
which is kind of nice. Changes it up a little bit.
I like her logo too, the S.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
kind of covered
Simple,
there.
but good, pretty good.
Yeah. And I obviously me and Julian wanted to kind of feature a WNBA player's shoe. So this is probably our favorite one out of all the women's shoes.
And it just fits so well because she went to Oregon, the Nike school.
Yes.
And these are the Oregon colorway. So.
And so for all you sneakerheads, you guys know the history of the Oregon colorway on all Jordan's shoes.
Do they do that? Do they put the Oregon colorway on
Not
every
all. It really depends on the year. So
Yeah.
like one year they gave all the football players the all black Jordan 4 with the O in the front.
pair? Okay. Yeah.
One year they gave all the basketball players like the Jordan 6,
Yeah.
or like the 2 or something, and like it really depends.
We've seen PJ. I think that was the
PJ
4
has, like, all of
when we
them.
did that one. He had the 4, which is
Crazy.
crazy.
So and he always talks about like he's like, I can't say how much I got these for. It's
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to say it.
It's illegal.
Yeah. But a little history on it. The designer was, forgive me if I butcher this name, Ben Nethankome. Okay.
Sounds right.
Yes.
mean,
And she wanted it to be a unisex shoe, which is why me and Julian are going to buy a pair because they're so sick. It was she had been making the shoe since 2020.
Wow.
And all the people from the representatives of Nike were saying how involved she was with this and how specific she was with the shoe, which is why it's so beautiful, because she knew every detail that she wanted. The sampling and all the wear tests for this shoe, like all the different samples that they had, took 1 whole year.
Dang.
So she
Hey,
said
that's good, man.
every day, every week. Nope, I don't like that one.
Yeah, don't want to rush it. Yeah.
Which is you said it yourself, perfect, because you don't want to just settle, right? Because
Yeah.
then it's forever. And what she used to wear a lot of Hyperdunks, Hyperfuses, and LeBrons in college, along with Kobe's. But so to pay homage to all those shoes that she liked, she added support cables. Inspired by the fly wire technology on all those shoes. So like some of the LeBrons had that, some of the Kobe's had that, Hyperfuse, all the ones she wore had that, and that's these right here. You see these?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Basically, it ties in your foot into the
Gotcha.
shoe like
Okay,
that.
that's cool.
And that's a technology that was on all the other shoes.
Yeah.
So basically, an homage to LeBron and all the old Kobe's and old shoes that she wore, and believe it or not, a little more same price as like the Tatums and stuff.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be 130 is what they're gonna come out for, and it's cool because like you said, like they are pushing these as like, it's just because it's a women's is the signature athlete, it's not just a woman's shoe.
No,
like,
it's a unisex shoe.
It's a unisex. They're pushing it. They're doing sizes up to men's like 18 or something. So they're doing all of the sizes. Which with some of the women's shoes they don't do. Like there's some cool pairs of like Jordan 1s and stuff that pop up and it's like, oh, it's a women's shoe.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, oh, I like the colorway, so I don't really care. And then I'll look and it'll be like, it stops at a men's 12. I'm like, I can't wear those.
Yeah.
I have another look here, and these are cool because it's almost like inverse of the last pair. So I don't know if they do end up releasing these, that'd be cool. But these are definitely, one of these two is going to be a PE for her, or maybe the Oregon team this year. But I do like that on the outside check, it's like a silhouette, so you can still see the body color,
and it's like it's stitched on, as opposed to into the shoe.
Yeah,
right?
It's such a cool design,
Crazy
and it's
design, dude.
like you can do a lot of colors with it. Like we kind of shouted out the Uncle Phil colorway, which is cool, kind of a dark blue thing, and a correction. I think it's probably both. We assumed that it was a Fresh Prince thing. Uncle Phil is Phil Knight for her.
Oh, that makes sense. And he went to Oregon. So
that makes sense. Yeah, and obviously they got to have some kind of relationship. She went to Oregon, killed it in Oregon. I do have some stats for her.
Yes, I want to hear that because she was a monster.
This game, though, that these very cool shoes are from is from a few days ago from when we're recording this, August 24th, 2023. It was an overtime game in Connecticut against the Sun. The Liberty ended up winning 95-90. And Sabrina had a decent game, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 3 turnovers with 2 fouls on 5 of 13 shooting. And Breanna Stewart led the Liberty with 24 points and 12 rebounds. And then for the other side, for the Sun, DeWanna Bonner had 30 points and 12 rebounds. Damn. So pretty crazy game. And something that I don't think we've mentioned before, WNBA does 10-minute quarters. So this is not a full 48 minutes. Yeah. Like they're doing this in a decreased amount of time. Yeah. So pretty crazy. Amazing. Some crazy stats. Like if you adjust those, it's going to be some sick numbers.
I think Aja Wilson had 53 the other night.
She had
the heck?
Crazy game. Career high.
Killing people, dude.
Yeah, man. Dude, Aja,
she's a beast.
Probably the best player in the WNBA now.
Has to.
I felt like for a while Breanna Stewart was, because she was going crazy when she was in Seattle.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's they're all crazy, but Aja Wilson is something else.
That Aces team is kind of like dominating everybody right now.
I think it's going to be an Aces Liberty finals. We'll see. I'm not sure, because there's only a handful of teams in the WNBA. I'm not actually sure if they do conference separation for the playoffs.
You're right.
But I'm sure they're at the top of the standings.
No, for sure.
The Liberty and
I mean, look at that duo, dude. Sabrina and Breanna. Damn, dude.
That's a crazy combo, dude. Yeah, right?
Basically.
It's so crazy. But yeah, they're both top. When they do still have conference splits, I think for like the All-Star game and stuff, but for the playoffs, I'm not sure they'd continue that split. Yeah. Since it's only a 12-team league. Yeah. But they're both, the Liberty are only 3 games back from the Aces right now, who are leading the league with 30 wins and 4 losses. That's an 88%
4
win
losses,
total.
bro.
That people didn't think they'd get that much. Like it was a surprise. They lost to the Sparks last week. They lost to the Sparks, and everyone was like, "What?" Because unfortunately, the hometown team is not doing super hot right now.
Yeah,
I mean, not as good as we're used to them doing.
Yeah. But shout out the Agumake sisters, because they're the ones holding it down.
They're keeping it. Yeah, they're keeping it real. This is this is the game too where she wore those shoes. So I like how it stands out amongst all the red shoes that the Liberty players have. There. Yeah.
Some Mambacitas.
Yep.
Some Mellows. These are, I think, like some of those Li Ning or like a Anta type of thing. I don't really know. I haven't seen those shoes before.
But yeah, New York Liberty is a problem. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then these are the two that are releasing.
Yes. This is probably the more famous pair. This is the very first one on top to release. And then this, I believe, is going to come out soon. Or did it come out already?
So these, I don't think either of these have come out yet. This bottom one here is the Spark, they're calling it, which is it's a cool colorway. It's almost Lakers colors.
Yeah.
And then the other one they're calling the Iconic, and it's still listed as coming soon on Nike.com. So that's the Iconic, and that's just almost straight up and down check. Pretty. I do like how it goes into the midsole though. It's kind of a cool design.
And it works because it's almost like it goes with the backing of the shoe.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just randomly.
Parallel,
Hey, let's just make it straight. No,
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to kind of look like that.
But yeah, it's a great silhouette. These are really cool. The Oreo colorway, I'll put that up there. But that you sent me, that might be the one to get if they do release that.
Out of these three, that's the one I would get for sure.
This one, I like the Iconic.
I do too.
Probably, it kind of reminds me of the tropical Lucas that we looked at with the kind of purple, or the the oxygen gray that we looked at a few weeks ago for the FIBA episode.
Yeah, those are dope.
With the like hints of purple in it. So
I kind of don't mess with this colorway too much.
yeah,
but it's like I said,
it's kind of a weird mix.
But yeah, like the shoe is so nice that I'll take it. But this one's nice.
This kind of reminds me of like Jamie Foxx's character in Spider-Man, Electro.
Oh yeah,
that's what he would wear.
Kind of
purple
like
electric
lavender.
Sparks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think that's all I got in my notes. I do have the college stats since this is the back to school episode.
Yeah.
Crazy. This is for her career in college, and she played all 4 years for Oregon. 18 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, and 7.7 assists per game with 1.5 steals on 45% shooting.
Torching fools.
That is not fair.
It's not fair at all.
But yeah, like we said, if you guys want to grab these, August 1st, so...
September 1st.
Yeah, sorry, September 1st, which this episode's going to be coming out on the August 28th.
In a few days.
It's going to be a few days that later that week. These will
got
be
time to
ready
think
to go.
about it.
Yeah. But let us know if you guys are interested in getting these. Let us know below which colorway you want to get. Obviously, I mean, if I could, I'd get the Oregon. Not that I have no allegiance.
Yeah.
But those are pretty nice.
Yeah. I
And
don't
Oreo
think they
is
would
nice.
ever release
No,
the
I don't think
Oregon
they will,
just
no.
because it's basically a shoe that is made just for them. So they would never, if you notice, they never release an Oregon colorway of all like basketball shoes or Jordans.
If they did, though, I mean,
Oh my God.
Sabrina's probably, again, I really don't do well with like, which college did that player go to? But as far as I can remember, Sabrina's probably the most famous player out of Oregon, at least for basketball, in a while.
I was going to say Justin Herbert.
I mean, their college football team has a lot of stars come through.
Yeah.
But basketball,
In NBA, I couldn't think of
can't think of anybody.
Oh, yes. I got one.
Oh, you got one?
Yes. Dylan Brooks.
Boo. Shout out Team Canada, though, because
they're killing it.
They're pretty nasty.
And he's actually playing well for them.
Yeah, I mean no, Dylan Brooks is a fine player.
Gentleman. Fine young man.
He just talks
a lot.
It ruins it, really. Because he's still talking about how he locked down LeBron in the playoffs. Bro, no, you didn't. You lost by 40.
Also, stop.
And then you got shipped off the team. So
it's also over. Like, stop, dude. Yeah.
But anyways, that's the back to school episode. Some really cool pairs. Lots of history here, which is I love looking back.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see, especially no one wears those shoes anymore.
No one really wears them. Yeah. So
at least for ball.
Sorry also for not enough of the stats.
This is definitely a sneaks heavy episode.
But the shoes, I felt like, these shoes that we talked about are loved. The Sabrinas will eventually become, I think
the Sabrinas
a legendary shoe for the women's basketball shoes in terms of like how much they have. And yeah, dude, like I was gonna say, like going back to school, dude, if I had the Sabrinas, I'd probably break everybody's neck.
It's whole.
You know what I mean? But I'd probably be walking like a duck, like back then.
That would fit.
Back then.
If you had the Oregon colorway, that would be just fine.
Yes, but again, coming up with school's back in session. Coming up after that, all the sports are coming back. So me and Julian will have
We'll see.
A lot of stuff coming up in terms of
Maybe we can get some Nike cleats on here. Do a football episode.
The cleats episode
idea,
for sure.
actually.
That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. We will. Well, I mean, we're gonna maybe start talking about a little like other sports. Maybe we'll see. Like you said, like football. But,
football would be cool.
like I said again, like basketball and all that stuff is coming back.
October is the greatest time for sports fans.
I love this time. And then obviously baseball playoffs is coming up.
You have baseball playoffs, you have footballs in full swing, and then you have the start of the NBA season all in October, and hockey.
And the FIBA World Cup the FIBA tournament just started.
Yeah, FIBA tournament just kicked off. Check out that episode if you guys want to know some of the shoes that are going to be in the tournament. But Team USA, they're looking pretty good. And
a lot of the games right now are in the Philippines, so if you guys want to check them out, they're very early in the morning.
Yeah, it's like we mentioned in that episode, it's Japan, Philippines, and in Jakarta, Indonesia. So I think they're kind of still spread out right now. I don't think there's really like a rotation, but I know I think Team Canada was playing in Japan. I think they were playing in Japan.
And you brought it up, Shai went off.
Yeah, Shai had a great game.
Like
I think like 21. Oh, he had 30.
He had 30.
Which in like the
in
international
a FIBA game.
Shai he means business,
yes.
dude. Like that, we've talked about it, but the OKC team with Chet Holmgren and his Canadian partner, Lou Dort.
Le Guentz.
Dort. Yeah, sick name.
Yeah.
They got some players there, man.
Yeah, that team's on the rise. For sure.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Don't forget the Williams guy and Jalen.
They have two Jalen Williams, one with a Y and
one
who they call, I think they call him J Dub.
Yeah.
Something. One of them is J Dub and the other one is just Jalen.
You know what the drummer named his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. That was episode 19, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming.
But
please get out.
And I am going to leave and never be on the podcast again.
It's gonna be just me talking to myself.
But once again, thanks again for all your support, guys.
Tag us with your favorite dunks.
Tag us with your favorite dunks. Please send us photos of your dunk collection.
Please send us your shoes.
Send us any shoes.
We'll keep them for ourselves.
And we'd love to see them. We'll leave it. If you send us pictures and stuff, we could possibly feature them on our podcast or social media. So please message us, and
we'll do a little mailbag. If you guys want to, highlight your shoes, let us know. We'll do a little mailbag on the podcast.
Yeah.
And see, rate some kicks, maybe stuff like that.
And I know we're about 6 episodes away, but the 25th episode will kind of be is something that we kind of wanted to celebrate. So if you hang on with us until then, we'll have something pretty cool for that episode. But until then, thanks again for watching. This is episode 19, and we will see you guys on the flippity flop. Peace out, everybody.
Steel third.